Moved by, by Thompson, second by Lewis. There's a motion in the second on the floor. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. This is to.
The minutes, yes, ma'am.
I have questions on this, I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead, trustee.
For the minutes for June 13th, Clerk Jones did send a thing asking if we had changes to her, but at the time that I just did not have time to do it, I just went there today to read over the minutes. For June 13th minutes approval for E1A, E1A, E1B, I would like for the discussion part to be added on the reason why it's tabled. I'm sorry. E1A. And I have this written, so I can't get this. Okay. I will. And then all the votes that's on there, you have some. So for E1A and E1B, there was discussion. I just want the discussion part to be added on the reason why it was taken. See, I know he was not, and that's why I know he wasn't unaware, but I can send you that information so we can add that on. Oh, okay. These were taken. Yes. I'd like to add a discussion that consisted of that. And then
So those are amendments you'd like to add to the minutes.
yes. And then all the ayes, all the voting parts, just gotta make sure we update with the new trustees. And then, for the minutes for June 27th.
So also included in this, in the vote are former trustees.
Yeah, that's the ones I stated, that all of the trustees for the ayes is to be updated. And for June 27th minutes, under the public comments, I would like for, well, first, under the public comments, that last sentence in regards to Mildred Morgan, I would like for that to be updated or excluded. Yeah, this part. Yeah, for abusive behavior. It wasn't an abusive behavior going on, no one was fighting. So that should be taken out.
Should that be included in the minutes?
No, it should be included. So other than it should be done, I don't think that we should have that out.
So minutes aren't, the only, if it says that, it would only probably say that if someone said that we're removing her because of abuse or behavior.
Yes,
That would be the only reason that would be it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what was said, but minutes, it could just, if it said something simply as the person was removed or it was determined that the police had to escort out or the person be removed. But the only reason it was said for behavior is if somebody said that they had.
Okay, well, I don't remember if anyone did abusive and that was not straight. So I would like for that to be included. Okay. Also for F2C, for unit 30 and 40, $900 per month for both. It's just $900. And I just wanted to say it for both. For F2C.
These are amendments to the minutes.
Yes, these are the amendments. I can send it to you. So F2C, the $900 per month for both. F2B, F3B, the discussion part that should be added as well. So that's the only thing. For F3B. Okay. I would send it to you, but
If I could, well, then,
Yes, President Mike.
so we had a whole conversation about F3B and the reason why. I just like, we need to make sure that the actual conversation and discussion that was had is included with that for the reason why we tabled something.
okay, but just for clarity, on these ordinances and resolutions, I am only required to record who made the motion, who seconded, and what the vote was, with the exception if someone abstained or if they gave a reason for voting no. But at no point am I required to put it in comments or conversations.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm asking for it to be added into the minutes, the discussion on the reason why we tabled things. I think a lot of the stuff we have, we need to make sure that it becomes historical data, right? So historically, when we go back to it, when we say this is tabled, we would like to know why it was tabled, and it wasn't just tabled previously, that it was for a reason. So I'm just asking for it to be added. So in the future, if something gets tabled, I would like, I guess we're gonna have to make sure we say added to the minutes, right?
Yes, you
Okay, so in the future,
you would have to ask that this statement is added into the record.
then absolutely, and that would happen in the future.
Oh, okay. Is that it, trustee?
That is it, thank you.
Okay, there's a first and a second reading, and if we're gonna have some amended changes.
On those minutes? She's asking me the minutes. Right.
Or she's going to give.
Okay. Okay, all right then. So, we're gonna do a roll call on that motion.
This is on the amendments that you presented, so.
As a minute.
Right, it needs to be as amended.
As
As noted.
noted.
Motion by Jewel, trustee Thompson, and second by trustee Williams. To approve the minutes as amended.
Thompson and Williams.
Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Trustee Lewis. Both sides. Trustee Porter.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Mayor Peters.
Vote aye, Madam Clerk. Okay, general public comments, Mary Ann Alexander.
Okay, what did I sign?
Oh, so this is the same sheet, so we're going coming back against, oh, got a different sheet?
It's right there.
This is a different sheet?
This is what this week.
Okay, so this is more the same, okay, this is more your first. Stop the clock. Go right ahead.
Hello, everybody. I'm interested in, and I need an answer. I'm interested in the procedure for bringing in new staff. Let me tell you what I've experienced in the 35 years that I've been here. In bringing in new staff, it was usually posted, am I correct? With a job description and salary. Has it changed any? Please tell me. The reason why I'm asking is because jobs are coming in here and ain't posted. And when I ask questions about it, I'm told it didn't have to be posted, that they could just bring folks in. I got rid of a couple of people because of that, back in the other administration's day. You don't bring in folks and hire them just because that's what you want, Ms. Scott. Another thing I want to say before my 2 minutes is up. This village looks a mess. You have that blue box down there by PK. I actually saw a family trying on clothes, 3 children and a man and a wife, trying on clothes out of that box right up there on the corner. Is that what we've been reduced to? Today, right now, there's a lot of junk for clothing and things that's up there right now. Nobody is doing anything about it. We have sinkholes. I mean, geez, we keep on going, they're going to sink. You go right over there by Craig Park, you go dip.
Sandra Drive, Ms. Morgan?
Yes, Sandra Drive, you know that. Everybody that comes down crossroad of Black Hawk and Sandra Drive, same thing, you get rocked. Is that what we're reduced to? What about the car wash? Oh my goodness. Where's code enforcement? I call code enforcement, look for it. Try to call Ms. Scott, nowhere around. We pay these people lots and lots of money, and this is what we've been reduced to. That is not fair to us. Y'all get paid a hefty dollar. And this is what we're being reduced to. People meet to be meeting, to be meeting, to be meeting, and has totally forgotten and is neglecting the residents. We deserve better than that. My husband and I have been here 35 years. We pay tax dollars, which pays all of you all. I don't think it's fair to us that we have to leave me alone, that we have to live in such horrifying conditions.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan, for your comments. And, we all share the same concern for having it clean.
Do something about it. Don't share it with me.
Mary Ann Alexander.
Do something.
Street repairs are in progress, so there is a 5-minute street program.
Am I going to give my answer to the first question about what is the procedure for hiring?
Well, I don't know personally, I'm the mayor. Ms. Alexander, go right ahead.
Your village manager is sitting right
Ms.
there.
Morgan, please, let the next person have she.
I want an answer.
Okay.
I want an answer.
Ms. Morgan, please. Please.
I really don't have a comment. What I want to do, I need to make an apology to you.
Live loud, that's all.
Okay, I just want to make an apology to the mayor, the board, and the trustees for acting like a child the last meeting that we had by walking out. I should have never turned my back on you guys because I need to know what's going on and I want to hear what you guys do. And I appreciate you all. I like what you guys are doing. You're engaging, you're asking very intelligent questions. And I'm so proud of all of you. But please accept my apology, mayor, board, and the trustees. And I thank you.
Absolutely, Ms. Alexander. And we know you're passionate about what you do, so absolutely. We look forward to working with you. Bernice O'Brien.
Hello, everyone. I just want to address everybody.
Good evening.
I want to ask the question about the intimate domain, the last question I asked about the last meeting. And also, the hiring process too for the golf course. Are you all hiring now for someone for the golf course to run it? And what's the process and how you go about submitting an application for that process also? And the hole in my yard too, I want to address that too. Again, no one came back to fix that hole that's sinking in my yard, front yard. He did come out and put a cone out there, but now the cone is sinking down. Gordon Terrace. And it's never been filled and it's sinking all that area where the fire hydrant was. Okay, so that's all I have to say. All right, you're gonna
Yeah,
okay.
I can respond. Mr. Warren, I did check into what you was talking about with the eminent domain. I checked with code enforcement when I heard and wrote. And they have not, the village has not received a list of properties for $1. That's been over, I think, 15 to 20 years. But now it's actually occurring. That has not happened recently. What has been happening is they go get it through tax sales. So there is a book that comes out and it has all the properties that are for sale because of the lack of taxes that was paid. So that's how a lot of the homes are actually being purchased, is through buying those taxes through the tax sale. That is a book that comes, that you can get that list, and you can also go through Will County
tax.
Yeah, the reporter, one of them, and they're be able to provide you that list as well.
Okay.
So it's not a $1 thing. That's something that used to happen back in the day, but it has not happened in over a decade. I did want to make sure I get that response.
And the hiring process for the golf course, the name of the golf course. Are we still, the golf course name is going by the golf course, or is it a name for the golf course?
Well, the name of it is the University Park Golf Course and Conference Center. Oh, University Golf Course and Conference Center. Thanks for the correction, Madam President.
So who do I address if you went into the hiring process, I'm sorry, for the golf course?
The golf course is, there's going to be some items of discussion, so I'm not familiar with anything as far as hiring or anything like that. So that will be a topic of discussion among the board members, probably in the executive session.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. O'Brien. David and Naomi Wilkins.
I thought you didn't do the hiring. You're talking about what's going to happen at the golf course.
We decided since you're limited to 2 minutes, we're gonna share our.
It's 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
For the mayor.
Then we're gonna share ours, and let somebody share ours. Naomi and David Brothers. I think you all know home me when you're out. You know. Let my know. I think we're all doing a fine job there. So there's no need to change now. I appreciate each and every one of you. And which brings to my question is, as far as the golf course is concerned. I wanted to know why they're changing the CEO. I think she's doing a great job. Like I said,
I know she's doing a great job. I work there. She doing a bad job. I'm a little upset about this stuff.
that we just want to know why.
Yes, trustees, tell us why.
Now be recognized, Mayor.
Trustee Brooks, absolutely.
Tell me.
I'll go first. How you doing, Mr. Brooks? It's good to see you again. Let me make very clear is that Ms. Coffey may be doing a great job now, but from the beginning, when she was hired, they were receiving over $78,000 a month. And the problem that came in was that golf course was not open. My wife sitting right there, her and I took a picture. 5th of July, not this past July, but before that, they were closed. It was close to the point that the authorities thought it was suspicious that the Village of University Park would be cutting checks almost to the gross of $250,000 to a place that was not open. So when you start having an investigation going into the Village of University Park and that golf course, naturally now you're going to do your job. So this is not to say that Ms. Coffey did something wrong, but this is to say that the golf course was not operating the way it should have been operating when Billy Casper and Al Shorter were moved out. It was not right for you all to pay that kind of money to the point of sums of almost $700,000 a year. It's just not right. We had a contract before under the previous mayor and that board of 17-19 board. That contract consisted of Billy Casper controlling that facility with a threshold of $45,000. What it means is they operated and they kept it moving. But if it drops, you the taxpayers as us managing, we will only pay for whatever negative that was in that bank. So if it was $5,000, the board would give them a $5,000 check. But for some odd reason, that we felt that we had to go with this company and cut checks we can't afford. If you didn't understand in 2017 when we did the layoffs, Mr. Brookins, it was no way that we should even be operating right now. We were in the negative. It was no way that this village can function the way it was functioning. Now, right now, the big job that the village manager, I'll let you speak in a minute, the big job that the village manager has now is that we steady scrapping money. The development of everything that has come in, such as Carvana maintenance space and Amazon, that's great. But at that particular time, that facility that's being managed could not afford the taxpayers to continue to pay $78,000 a month to them to manage it. It's not sufficient to us, it's not fair to the taxpayers, and it was irresponsible.
Okay, the golf course, she put that position. She came in, had promised that everything would be all right, and all the equipment. That was a lie. Wasn't no equipment. When she came in bad with this, you lose your ball in the family. That wasn't her fault. She came in now. Have you guys been on lately? Have you?
Have I been over there lately?
I haven't seen any of you folks over there.
Have I been over there lately? You know what, Mr. Brookins?
No.
I don't know if I got the picture. I've been over there.
What time
I can
was it?
tell you. Hold on, I can tell you. Before you start saying that, there's a $10,000 lawnmower we can't find.
7 o'clock in the morning you come out?
$10,000 lawnmower we can't find.
What time you come out? 7 o'clock in the morning?
No, I came in
On what weekend? Weekend.
Man, it was in the middle of the day. It was in the middle of the day. Nobody cleaned up a lot of anything. I'm not talking about now, Mr.
You
Brookins.
guys make a big mistake, I'm telling you that now. Thank God, I haven't seen a soul. None of you folks over there, don't even come up. The visit on it, you don't play golf over there, you go to the other. Bill Street and play golf.
Not true.
But you take your
Not
taxes.
true.
You take your taxes and pay. You take your taxes.
Mr. Brookins, this is
All right.
point of order. Mr.
Hold on.
Mayor,
Oh, let's not have a lot of going back and forth.
Exactly.
Let the trustee finish that. Now let you guys finish your dialogue.
yeah. Mr. Mayor, I'm gonna give my time, but let me say this. That woman sitting right behind you, we, don't say we don't go there, because we had her retirement party there. Let me finish.
Well, you can finish.
I understand how you feel, Mr. Brookins, but also at the same time, it's not feasible for the village to continue to dish out $78,000 plus a month to a place where we had a better deal and it could operate. We cannot afford it. You're not going to stay in a car or buy a car that you can't afford. They're going to continue.
Earlier, you were saying, in the earlier meeting, it sounded complicated, like everybody was doing this and dipping and dabbing, and everybody else have their jobs.
So what
When you were listening to finance, what everybody was doing, what everybody had did, and you couldn't find figures on this, you couldn't find figures on that, then everybody else is still okay. I just wanted to know why. I'm not here for an argument. I just wanted to know why the CEO was being dismissed. That was all, and I still didn't get the answer that I really was looking for.
We can't afford $78,000 a month.
Okay, all right, let's listen. Quiet down, please. No order in place. Go, Mr. Brookins.
She admitted that the only experience she had was selling peanuts at a golf course before she came here. And when she came here, it was cash and carry only. Who does that in this day and age? People don't walk around with cash. And then a resident went up there to see what they were serving. Only thing she could serve her was a bag of peanuts and a bottle of water. I'm not on Southwest. What is this? If you offer me something that you get on the airplane, I'm looking for a meal. So this is crazy. She did not operate it the way she was supposed to. So that's why we have to say, hasta la vista.
I've never seen you in the golf course.
And you never will if she's working there. I was there for the swearing in. That's it, that's all.
All right, thank Member Public and Board of Trustees. That concludes our public section. Let me see, trustee, give me a second. On the public section, unfinished business, there is none. New business agenda.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I would like to make an amendment to the agenda. If we can follow item F2G, I would like to move that in front of F2A. F2G consists of the appointment of the police, actually appointments, and then we have little kids in the audience, so, and I think we've honored somebody, so it's best to get that out the way. So I would like to make that.
There's a motion by Bush, there's a second by Thompson. Question, let's not. We're going to do a roll call. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Bush made the motion, Thompson made the second. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk. Move appointments up right in front of the Yes. All right, Madam Clerk. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee Parker. Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Mayor.
Vote aye, Madam Clerk.
Okay, so
We're going to move those items up, and now let's do our appointments to police and fire commission. Dolores Buckley. Go ahead. All right, yes, Madam Clerk. You got your thing.
Dolores Buckley.
Yes, she's here. Dolores Buckley. Meet us at the podium, please. Everybody say, who is that? Roosevelt, please join us. Come on, boy. Yeah, come on up there. Come on. Feel like because you like this temptation in the background.
Any commission?
Oh, no, it's right
Have the family around.
Your family and friends are coming to join you.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Y'all family for real.
Well, I can truly say this has been a long time coming. Dolores and I go back to early police department days. And when she retired, I knew she had wanted to get on this board. So I can say, glad to have you on board. Now, I'm going. Could you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Dolores Buckley, having been duly appointed to the office of Fire and Police Commissioner, the office of Fire and Police Commissioner, in and for the Village of University Park, counties of Will and Cook, for a full 3-year term from July 25th, 2023 to July 24th, 2026. Do solemnly swear that I will uphold and support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully
that I will
faithfully
faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of
of the office of
Fire and Police Commissioner
Fire and Police Commissioner
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We got 3 copies that sign off on this time. Let's see the young people moving up. Somebody got a
Here we go.
Oh, it's 2 more inside. Sign 3 copies. Yeah, ma'am. I did. The only guy I knew about what I wanted, but so we don't have to meet when we stay there for the planning commission. And for the Saunders and Gwen Rosen.
She's not old. She's cold.
She a need.
If we could, let's applaud long time. On that board to help make decisions as many years as she spent in the police department, I know that she knows what to do on this commission as a commissioner. Tomorrow, no, Friday, give me a call. You will get your official permission and your badge. And I must say, with this badge, unlike were a police officer, you cannot use this badge as a get out of jail. It is something to give you the respect. It's a symbolic of your being a fighter.
Okay, we have one more appointment for the evening, and I'll be asking for the Saunders, Gwen Rosenberg, and Bernita Martin to come join us at the podium. And Barbara Paxton is here. Okay, here we go.
welcome to some of our long-time presidents who have been serving or now will be serving and appointed to our board, our planning commission. So it is an honor that I recognize Phyllis Sargent, Bernice Clark, who is currently the chair and has been for several years. I know all you guys know this young lady, Glenn Rosenberg. But if you would, if we could have just a moment so I can do this over. Would you raise your right hand and repeat after me?
I, Phyllis Saunders,
Gwen Roseburg,
having been duly
appointed
to the office of Plan Commission in and for the Village of University Park, counties of Will and Cook, Illinois, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Plan Commission according to the best of my ability. Thank you. Now, Ms. Hart, if you will raise your right hand. I, Anita Martin, having been duly appointed to the office of Chair of the Plan Commission in and for the Village of University Park, counties of Will and State of Illinois, do solemnly swear that I will uphold and support the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the Village of University Park. This appointment is for a term of 1 year or when a successor has been named. I will serve according to the best of my ability. Yeah, I know that was kind of different, but I did them separately for her as chair. As chair, it's a 1-year term, or according to our ordinance, but she can be retained anyway. And these terms are same as the current police commissioners from today, July 26th, through July 24th, 2026, as chair 2023 through 2024. Okay. Now I have these documents I would love to get you guys to see.
I say thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations. You guys are a very unique opportunity.
It's my legal name. Really, legal name. Right. This goes to Springfield, do we keep
we really need to move forward. We're going to have a presentation by the clerk. The clerk put me on hold for a second. I'm waiting on the clerk because there's going to be major construction going on within the next 30 minutes in this facility. They'll be coming in, working here and next door, finishing up the sprinkler system. So, yes, Madam Clerk.
I would say, We have a motion.
Yes, I see it.
We need a motion to approve the appointment.
Yes. Is there a motion to approve the appointments?
Okay, want to read the appointments and
The appointment to the Police and Fire Commission, Lois Buckley. The reappointment of Renita Martin, Chair of Planning and Zoning Commission.
separate.
No, all in one. Appointment of Wayne Rosenberg, Barbara Patrick, and Phyllis Saunders to Planning and Zoning Commission, and thanking Sharice Wick and Oscar Brown Jr. for their services on the Planning Commission. Is there a motion? That motion and a second. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Mayor Rudis.
Both sides, Madam Clerk. Okay, thank you so much. Attorney presentation by Attorney Nina Fain with the Aqua Water update. Attorney Fain, you need a microphone?
Oh, that one's gone. All right, can you all hear me? Can you hear me?
You probably need a microphone this way.
I'll just try and project. What I'm concerned about is, can you see the screen?
We cannot.
Matt. I said they can't see the screen.
Can everyone see the microphone display? I mean, not the microphone.
I think that people also have the
Can they have
like ratios,
Yeah.
just in case. All right, can the members of our community see?
Yes.
All right, good evening, everyone. I am Nina Fain. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. This is my first opportunity to present to the Board of Trustees since May. So I am a new face potentially to many of you, and thank you for having me. For members of the community who have seen me before, not as often as I would like to be here, thank you again for having me. My goal this evening is a succinct one, and it is to provide you with an update on People versus Aqua, Illinois, and some actions that Aqua has taken over the last month and a half that will change how they deal with the compliance standard. Next slide. The Illinois EPA has issued a permit based on the fact that Aqua has, for 4 consecutive 6-month periods, shown that it meets the Illinois EPA water quality standard. The permit has been issued. However, at the end of the day, the court order stands as it is. In other words, water will continue to be provided. The litigation is ongoing. They continue in the discovery segment of the litigation. And when I say they, I mean the Office of the Illinois Attorney General. And they are also involved actively in settlement negotiations. Next slide, please. What does that mean for EP? It means a couple of things I think that are important. Number one, it means that the list which Trustee Brooks, Mayor Rudis, and others submitted that they wanted considered by the company as part of any settlement negotiations should be freshened up, because that was done almost 2 years ago now. So I would make the recommendation that neighbors contact their trustees to let them know what they would like to see realistically in any settlement negotiations. We don't know whether the case will settle or whether it will go to trial, but we need to be prepared, and we need to have something that is freshened up. The trustees can then give that to the village manager, and I am then happy to present those items to the Office of the Attorney General. All right.
Ms. Payne,
Yes.
you just speaking to the microphone a little bit because I'm understanding they can't really hear you as well. That
You
well.
can't hear me.
Okay. The camera readers.
No, thank you. I have a very loud voice, so I try not to blast people on a microphone. All right, next slide, please. Now, something that I think is important for everyone to know, that Aqua will do free, let me repeat, free water quality sampling to any customer and resident of University Park. That is ordered by the court in the temporary order that also provides the water. Now, Trustee Lewis, do you have the document?
Yes, I passed them out to
All right, on the website,
everyone has this sheet.
on the website, it will tell you exactly what the three procedures are, yes, to get the water sample. It can be sampled monthly for free, but you must call them. In that document that you have tonight, as well as on the website, and Ms. Neva put this up on the website, there is an email address that I have asked, along with Trustee Brooks and the Mayor, to be established for the residents of University Park only. It is exclusive to you, so that you may directly contact the Attorney General's office. Let them know if you call Aqua and the water quality sampling is not done timely, you let them know through that portal. Any other issues and concerns that you have should go to that address. Now, when Trustee Lewis and I were talking, and this is after Trustee Brooks and the Mayor and I got this email established, one of the things that one of her constituents said was, I don't think that's working, the email address. Now, I'm going to fuss at you, yes I am. If you don't tell me, you don't tell anybody on the board, we don't know that. So there I was looking like more than a fool, because I'm about to move the slides down. We need to know that that is working. If it is not, they will adjust it. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that the Attorney General's office was hacked twice. So I don't know whether that's the reason, and this has been a while ago, but we need to know that that is an operational email address. You may contact them directly. They have someone who is monitoring it on a daily basis. Do you see it there?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to come tonight, after being requested to come by the village manager, and make certain that you knew about the monthly free water quality sampling, because you may be sitting in the audience or on the board going, okay, now they only have to come once a year and sample the water because they come through this process, when on Channel 7, there was a story about where everything was. I think the mayor was possibly interviewed, but one of the residents of the community said, I'm not comfortable yet with the water. The Attorney General saw that story, Kwame Rowe saw that story and said it is imperative that the residents of University Park know about this water quality sampling free monthly opportunity ordered by the court, that's Judge Anderson, and that they take advantage of it. And as a follow-up, to make certain there's no slipping or sliding, here's the email address that we put in place so that you don't have to be trying to call me call Trustee Brooks, call whomever. You can call us, of course, but you now have a direct pipeline into the Attorney General's office. But again, we all need to know if that's not working, if that's bouncing back, please say something. Thank you. Okay? All right, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be, hollering at the residents. Preach. Preach. I would like to get rid of this one. All right, next slide, please. Okay, let's get down to cases. What else can we do? Okay? Now we know we're going to have free water sampling monthly. We know we can contact the Attorney General directly. That's all great and fine. But we need to be thinking about some other things. Now, before May, there were conversations at some of the local churches about the no lead water movement. That is a national movement saying that we want to make certain that legislation is in place that will make certain we do not allow any lead in our water. Now, I will be frank. I think that, and I don't mean I'll be frank, I'll be direct. I don't know that that is realistic today. The standard of Illinois water quality on our legislation is different than at the federal level. So maybe the baby step is to consider, and Trustee Brooks, you may want to be looking into this, getting our Illinois law to be the same as the federal law. Now, I say to you, this is something we can do. This is not pie in the sky. This is real. November is veto session. January is a new day. If we want to look at, can we get our Illinois law equivalent to our federal law, which is less, then we need to think about it as a board and community and see if that's something we want to try and do. There are no guarantees, but this is part of a strategy. This will raise the awareness of not only the rank and file in the communities, but in the media. All issues related to water and climate change are front and center right now. I was having difficulty in Hanover Park.
Lake County.
Okay? Lake County. This is, we are not alone, but we are not concerned about what is happening anywhere other than in our community.
That's my question.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, let me get through this and then I'd be happy to take questions. Would that be okay? No, you won't. All right. Now, the other thing that can be done is to, first of all, see if that will happen. Second of all, we need to also decide what are we going to do at the EPA. Now, again, and I feel sorry for Trustee, but he knows these laws backwards and forwards, as does the mayor. The Illinois EPA has for underserved communities, known as environmental justice communities, an opportunity for people to have public hearings. It's not like a court hearing with testimony sworn and so forth, but it is an opportunity for people to say, these are our concerns, and have them say why they think they are good folks. That's something that can be considered. That's something that can be done sooner rather than later. You'll be working with your board of trustees to see if that's something that you would like to consider doing. But these are all specific strategies that you need to talk about and see if this fits at this time. We have not done this before because we were working on some other things. But now may be the time to reconsider some of these options and opportunities. Okay, let's go to the next item. All right. I think you might want to consider contacting other communities that are having problems with this company. They may be able to help, they may not have anything to say, but there is, I don't want to say safety numbers, but communication is key. You must communicate with each other and let people know what is going on, what your concerns are, see what is happening there. Okay? Now, the organization which is most prominent in this community is the Illinois Municipal League. ACWA's a big sponsor. Well, that's great. But what is the Illinois Municipal League, and I believe the community continues to be a member, what are they doing for the village manager and the trustees? What are they doing for you? So you need to be talking with those folks about what can be done. They have people in Springfield. They also are allowing ACWA to sponsor their activities. Has there been a program on water quality and litter? Perhaps that's what the community puts together to do. These are proactive steps that don't cost anything that the community and the board can do. So, next slide, please. As I said at the beginning of our conversation this evening, People of Illinois versus ACWA continues. The village leadership and others may be called to testify by the Illinois Attorney General. For example, the mayor has already been interviewed. They reached out for him. That's why your email address becomes important. So that if you're interested in doing that, you can say in that email, I would like to, if necessary, be someone to say what has happened to my family in this community. All right? Now, you may, if you have time, continue to go to in-person hearings of the case. You know, the courts in Cook County, I don't know if Will County has gone back to in-person hearings yet, or if they're still doing hybrid. But for Judge Anderson, and he's even said this, when he looks out and sees people from the community who are there, then it keeps the importance of the case before him. And he's, I believe, going to be potentially going to the appellate court. So we don't know who may come in, but seeing people in the audience becomes important. So maybe you put together a rotation of people. Because people have to work, they have other things to do. Okay? All right. We talked about this. Perhaps Trustee Brooks, you can work with the other trustees, Trustee Falter, and others to identify new things that you want on a list for the Attorney General to put before ACWA as it talks about settlement. Doesn't mean they'll do it, doesn't mean you'll get it, but it does give a different perspective and point of view to the Environmental Bureau Chief about what is important to the community in 2023. But you need to reach out to the representatives here and let them know about that. Put that list together. Let's set a deadline now. Let's say by August 15th or September 1st. September 1st, okay. So by September 1st, if people can contact their trustees with that information, then village manager, you can look at the whole list and see how that comes together. Then we're taking an action step. We're doing something. Not just floundering under the weight of Goliath. Be realistic. Yes, we
we'd all like all new pipes, but that's not going to happen. So let's think of something that we may be able to achieve. Why can't we paint? Well, you can put that on the list, but why not paint the water tower? That's your, why is that, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what you want. You have to decide. Well, then don't do that. Okay? But I'm trying to give you an example. Okay? Then you need to be talking with them about having Aqua replace the pipe system, or guaranteeing that bond, or dealing with something tangible that will get you from where we are today to where we want to be.
Okay, but wouldn't that be something you would be doing on our behalf?
So that was part of my question too. What is your role?
Because
I'm hearing an echo. I want to be looking at the person who's asking me a question.
I said, what is your role? What do you do?
What you see here?
I'm talking Jewel.
Oh, okay, Jewel, okay.
So I want to know what your role is, because I want to know who advocated for these things you're talking about on our behalf. And then we're allowing Aqua to test water when they're the ones who created the problem. And then somebody said, okay, well, the village can pay for testing if they want to at our own cost. We would have to bear the cost for somebody else's error or mistake. And so I don't understand what's going on in your negotiations, or I don't know what you're going to do.
Well, my role has been twofold. To serve as the interface between Aqua, Illinois' role at the Attorney General's office, and also to try and identify documents which were not available that had to do with Aqua here in the village. But you asked me 3 separate questions.
I just want to know your role, because I don't see where you're advocating for us, because if we want to be tested independently, then we have to bear the cost.
I would say I don't know that.
I wasn't finished. So then, Aqua, who created the problem, is the one doing the testing. So I don't think you can ask the person who created the problem to fix the problem necessarily. So I just was wondering about who is our advocate, who's advocating for us.
Well, the Attorney General's office, representing the people of Illinois, would always advocate for you. In terms of answering your question about paying for independent water testing, that is something that I would recommend that we talk to the Attorney General about, because what you are saying is, I'm not comfortable having the same people that caused the problem to test the water. Okay? So, then, at the end of the day, that either has to be changed in the court order, because that's how it stands now, or you have to think of something else that you would want to do. So in the settlement discussions, in the current discussions, that is something that should be raised. You have Trustee Lewis here as your water liaison. That's something that she will bring forward to them, because I'm certainly not going to say it doesn't make sense for you to have to pay for independent water testing. The mayor has advocated for that, I believe, for a while. I don't know if there was ever a discussion about who was going to pay for it. But that is something to bring forward to Aqua if you so choose.
So let me add on to that.
Yes, ma'am.
So all the things you have in here that residents can do, you can reach out to the Attorney General, you can participate in whatever the hearings are. Did you through the village, make a way for the broader, not just the residents in this room, or the residents who watch us on YouTube, but like for everybody to know, like a neighborhood blast, so people can know. I can get tested every month. I can, some people may think that the water thing is over. I got a broken arm. What if I didn't know I couldn't get water delivered to my house? So that's why I'm trying to see what your role is, because this information needs to get out beyond this room and beyond just YouTube.
Right, because we keep hearing that your role is to monitor, that you're monitoring, but it's not getting back to the residents what exactly you're doing. 'Cause I was on one of those calls that they had, conference call.
Let me just clarify, which conference call? Which type is there?
It was, well, they had the judges on there, and your name was called, you weren't present. So we residents, we listened in,
This
we
was
didn't
the
have.
port, this was the port Zoom call?
Possibly, we didn't have any representation.
Well, the people of, the Attorney General represents. They want.
I know, but I'm just saying, because, you get a nice sum of money, and we're still, meanwhile, back at the ranch, we still got bad water, high water bills. Now we're paying, at one time, they had allowed us just to pay for sewer charge.
Yes. Right.
But now, they're making us pay back that, because now we're paying double and triple. So really, they didn't give us anything free. So we're paying double and triple for bad water, no end in sight. You're saying we can't get the proper pipes. I just saw on the news where Dick Moore got $14 million. Yes, and I know we don't own the rights, but we gotta figure something out, because we're not gonna continue to have these bad pipes and bad water running in our households. It's just not working. And we need you to lobby for us, to go to Springfield, make some noise, do something, because we don't want to keep going down this road.
If you don't mind me intervening, I have more in-depth things. So what my view of Attorney Fain doing on behalf of the village is she's our negotiator and works on the consent decree. So at the end of this thing, because if we don't have a voice, the state of Illinois isn't going to do anything for the village of University Park unless there's a voice at the table advocating for certain things. There has not been a phone call probably in 2 years since then. It's been an almost 23-month discovery period. And discovery period is basically, it's a stalemate, so they're going through finding facts and things. So there has been nothing actually happening with the application while they're going through discovery. They've actually asked for an extended discovery, if I'm not mistaken, Attorney Frank. So some of the things that we mentioned off the top of our head, when Trustee Brooks and I were when this thing first started, we were asking for an endowment fund. And what the purpose of an endowment fund would be, in case there's a 5-year-old or 6-year-old right now, say I use my grandkid, I was feeding him out the water tap, mixing this formula with him. He's fine now with 3 or 4 years old. But what happens when he's 10 years old and he has some kind of learning disability? So that's one of the things, that's what the endowment fund is asking for. Prior to ARPA, we've never had quarterly water reports or sampling or hydrant flushing or anything of that nature. So that's part of some of the things that she's asking for. Just like when we got
The residents don't know.
it's basically it was still for 2 years, 2.5 years, there was no conversation. It was all in the court in discovery. And when Judge Anderson is even getting frustrated, he said this discovery has gone on for an extremely long amount of time. It's time to get something else moving. It's all based on the science now. That's what it's based on. So Attorney Fain was saying, yeah, it's all that's what the complaint is.
The science is what got us here. Because when they took us from January 2018 from the well water to the Kankakee River, and they put that orthophosphate
sequence,
and they took that coating off, and we started
the interior scale.
And they tested it 8 months. After 8 months, they had tested it. They didn't tell us until June 2019 that our water was bad. After we did that.
Yeah, I was in office 24 days, not saying that here's, we got a water crisis. But as you look over the history, they said this is something that had been noted way before that time. But so moving forward, we just have to find a way to get away from aqua. One of the propositions that I would like to make is that we buy the system back for the same price that it was sold. Which they won't do that. It was $2 million, I believe.
Can we get the new president to come here and to meet with us? Can we form an aqua committee so that we can get people on board that will do the work?
It's kind of tested right now since this thing is getting ready to go to trial now. So anything that can be said and done now might be a cause and effect. It can benefit us or it can hurt us in the case in the court case coming up. I've already been asked by the Attorney General to be testify or be a witness on behalf of the village of University Park. So it's really quiet because people don't want to say the wrong thing and wind up compromising our case and lose us at the end of the day. So I think that there is a complete list. Trustee Brooks and I, before Trustee Lewis was even in office, there was, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 10 bullet points that we just continuously pound on. If I'm not mistaken, the ask hasn't changed.
Can I make a practical suggestion?
Yes.
One of the meetings that was held a while back was with Rainbow Push. They bought stock in the company to create a platform so that village residents potentially could go to those meetings and raise the kinds of concerns that you are raising. That is still an option. And when I was here in May, I asked on the floor who would form and lead what I'm calling a shareholders committee. This is the suggestion that you are making, to go and deal with the company where it lives.
I was here, man, I don't remember you making that suggestion.
Well, I did. I asked
You were
one of
here at
the
that
people that
town
stood
hall
up and was
I'm
commenting.
gonna say this, so between May, for our town hall meeting here, and now, whatever progress has been made, not made, where we're going, so then it's still, the residents don't know. So I'm new, so I don't know who you made your agreement with and what your role is. But surely it's got to be somebody got to be disseminating information to the residents so they can know where we are. And this whole process, we know it's going to be a long, it's going to take time.
Right, I agree.
But they have a right to know because they're paying you.
Right.
And
I'm not attempting to withhold information from anyone. I share it with the team here, and they disseminate it. I think that Ms. Neva just reframed a page on your website. So the information has been coming to the entity. Now, I think that we can communicate better. I think there has to be an established protocol. So this is something that the village manager and I have talked about, that when information is disseminated, she can put it up so that people know exactly what's going on. But I think she said earlier today, she used the expression, Rome wasn't built in a day. We have to have that kind of consistent exchange and develop a strategy and work through the strategy to get something done. You were talking about, we want all the pipes. Well,
The 1,500 that are under the watch that were built before 1986, yes. We want all new pipes because we will never, ever trust any water from Aqua ever again.
so at the end of the day, in order to replace those pipes for that, because remember, they defined that lead advisory area. They defined it. You didn't define it. So if that lead advisory area is ground zero, then it's quantifiable as to how much will take to replace the pipes there. And that's the conversation that needs to occur, whether it's with them guaranteeing that for a water bond, or however you may want to negotiate that solution. But you have to work it, and you have to work it consistently so that they know that you are going to respond. Yes, sir?
I went to every AQUA meeting. I didn't miss a one. And I suggested in the beginning that they create some kind of voucher, some kind of system, so that they could do block by block. Because all the money they have spent out giving us this water and employees, transportation, fuel, they probably could have gotten almost all of us new pipes by now. We had one of their managers on our community Zoom call that Mr. Mildred is head of, and he said it would have been like maybe $3 million or something. And they have spent that already. They could have done that.
They could have done the whole item.
He said it was just maybe about $3 million.
It's about $34.9 million.
Well,
Yeah,
he was saying that,
we passed
no,
this.
I'm sorry, he said they had sent out $3 billion.
Right.
And given us free water, and giving us the employees and everything. But if they were to just have taken one block at a time, we could just about be there now. Because this is 4 years. We've gone to our 4th anniversary now. And we're still getting this heavy water that most people can't carry in their house. Even if they deliver it to you, you still cannot lift it. I've had cases where people have had back problems, shoulder problems, you name it, from lifting that and stuff. And plus, all the people from 2018 up until now that digested that water, we hear more and more people out here have had died of cancer and other things. I can't help but think it may have contributed too. So this is a red flag. We need to do something ASAP, and you need to come more often. And we need to form that committee so that we can work on some things, get the right legislature in place so that we can make a change. Because this is, we're sitting back
I'm
talking
happy to
amongst
do that.
ourselves.
We
and
talked
nothing's getting
about
done.
Just as Ms. Bain, I talked just a little while ago, she was saying that she's told the team, well, the team don't want to communicate, if you get my drift. I've been told already that the village manager don't want to talk with me. So how can I get the information? How can we get the information? What we like is, and as I expressed to her, if she can come once a month and give us a report. We want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Because these folks, some of these folks up here, they don't communicate. They don't communicate, information doesn't get out like it should. And that's how come, just as Trustee Thompson said, we don't know what you're doing. Just as Trustee Williams said, she's been misunderstood that you're doing something else. Why is that coming from this administration? The miscommunication. So that's why we need to hear it from you. Just like I'm sitting here listening to you. And I'm just amazed at what you're saying and information that you're bringing. Never heard it from them. Never heard it. We need to hear what is going on. This is our life. Our children, my husband, our grandchildren, this is their life. We're the ones that's drinking the water here. We're the ones that's dealing with it. And just as Trustee Williams said, with all of that they have put into AQUA, the money and stuff, they could have taken that money and go ahead and, what's so hard about that? Just go on and do it.
It's easier said than done.
Put the pipes in and make it run. Here's what I experienced. My whole street flooded. The street flooded because, and if you, I don't know if you know, But the whole street flooded because it flew like a geyser. Water just started hitting up, just going up in the air. By the time they came over and put some pressure on that to stop that, it busted a little bit further down. And then when it did that, the water's just going all over the place. So that tells me, and if you look around and you'll see, and I talked about it quite often, it looks like little grave sites in our yards. Where our beautiful grass, where our beautiful grass is being torn up, dug up, and I go over and talk with the guys from Aqua. They're patchworking the pipes. That's how come we know that the pipes, and from the year that they were put in, that's how come we know that the pipes are eroded, no good. We need new pipes because they're patchworking. You'll see these grave sites where they go in, dig up a big hole, their men are down there, patchwork, they leave this pile of mud and dirt and stuff. It makes our community look bad, bring down the spirit of the people here in University Park as we see this, and they don't know nothing this, and then it stays like that for years. And it throughout, it happens. And I know because I go to each and every site. Each and every site.
Thank you, Mrs. Moore. We got one more question from Mrs. Jones. I know Ms. Spain is trying to, Bernice or Ms. Jones, I know she's trying to get to her presentation.
Replacing pipes along Western Avenue.
That's Nyport gas. Those are gas pipes, not water pipes. Yes, ma'am.
Different utility.
They are always blocking my house.
Yeah. So let me just say one thing, Nate, before you go ahead. Let's get this straight. Let's everybody understand this. Aqua gives less than a hoot about the village of University Park. Aqua wants the minority community, us out of University Park. They want the land. And I don't know if you guys believe what I'm telling you. It's just like Bronzeville, it used to be the projects at one time. They came on. They are looking for disenfranchising this community. They figured that these black folks just cut it as straight as it is. Don't know what to do with all the amenities and the assets they have. They have the second largest industrial park in the state. Ingress and egress off of I-57 and 394. A major university, the metro station, 2 golf courses in this community, a beautiful lake, and tons of amenities in this community. Tons of money going into this metro station. Aqua is not a friend of University Park. If Aqua really wanted to be a friend of University Park, they would have been friendly a long time ago. If this was a white community, like it is out in Lake County and Hanover Park, I'll say it over and over again, these things would not happen, and I'll stand behind my guns, because when I testify against Aqua, the truth will be the truth. Yeah. This is a predatory company, and anytime that our residents do not have an opportunity of bringing in another water source, we don't even have a choice. It's Aqua or nobody. Who in the hell wants Kankakee River water from what? First of all, from the start, it was bad, but we're not going back. We're moving forward on how we can remedy this program. So whatever we need to do, let's not make a mistake of thinking that Aqua is friendly and that their president is going to come in and grace us and anoint us with some kind of thing. Because if they wanted to get the community trust back, they would be knocking at our door saying, what can we do to get the community trust back? They would not be arguing about dropping off gallons of water for 80-year-old, 90-year-old people at their doorstep, wondering how they're going to get in. They wouldn't be leaving cases of water outside the hot-ass sun out there and then want to distribute it and think it's a good thing. They would do a whole lot more. They would make an investment in the community and say that we erred. We made a mistake. We want to do good business with University Park. They have not put that good forth ever. Craig Blanchard was the president when it started. They relocated him because he said the wrong things to me many times. So, and they did tell us that we were not going to have any water bills, but that was another facade, because what happens is October 21, they came back rebuilding us again, and what they did was back bill us. We were asking for a cap on our utilities. Trustees Brooks, when he was the liaison, beat the hell out of the hammer. Why can't we have a cap? It's a predatory company. They own us. They own the black community. And they're going to let us know each and every time we go out to the door. I'm tired, irritated, aggravated. There has not been any action with Aqua. And this period of discovery has gone on for 2 years as complete silence. You can hear a pin drop. In reality, there was nothing to say to the community because there was no action. Now as things are starting to amp back up, there's starting to be conversations. We met the new president at INL. I don't even remember his name. David tried to take me off to the side and have a cocktail with me and say, let's go talk about this. I thought, no, Doc, because you won't find this man sell out this community. So Aqua's not our friend. Let's not make that a mistake. They're not our friend. They never have been. And we deserve better.
In all fairness, I mean, what you may be saying may be your truth.
It's the real truth.
In all fairness, we must admit, before they changed the water, our water came out brown. Our toilets was brown. Our sinks, our clothes was brown. The water had such a foul smell.
Still does.
And the water had such a foul smell to it. And you couldn't, it had water spots on your glass, your dishes, your silverware, and everything. Aqua made a difference in Craig Blanchard. Made a difference in the quality of the water. It just so happened they made a mistake when they put the road stuff through the pipes, which stripped the pipes.
Ms. Morgan, let me stop. They did not make a mistake. What happened?
How do you know?
Let me explain to you, because I do know.
It wasn't there.
I wasn't there, but I'm very aware of what's going on now. What happened, why this whole thing has started, is because while the Attorney General is suing on behalf of the people of Illinois, right now is because Aqua did not choose to do the right protocol. The protocol is when you bring in a new source of water into a community, you take a piece of the existing infrastructure into the laboratory and test the effects of the new implemented chemical into the system. Unfortunately, Aqua didn't think that we were worthy of that. They did computer-generated testing, and that is how the water system got thrown off. Because when they implemented the chemical by the name of Sequest, which has been banned by the United States Environmental Protection Agency, then it stripped the previous scaling off of the interior of the pipings. And now, how dare Aqua sit back and tell somebody like me whose home was built in 1973 that now the responsibility is on the individual homeowner from the big box to the house? Well, I called someone out, and then my house is 2,350 square feet. It costs about $11,500 to replace the pipe from the big box to the house, and it may vary from house to house depending on the size and the square footage of the house. So that's how this whole thing started, because Aqua didn't give us they did not do the right thing. And they didn't give us the courtesy as they do other communities. And they did some computer-generated testing. And we're here today still talking about a scenario. And I know, first of all, I want to thank our residents for being resilient and understanding and staying the course. But we have to do something with Aqua. We have to do something with this. They want this land.
May I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
They also were violations of a lot of things. And we found out they didn't get the proper permit to even do those test runs.
Thank you, Jen.
Well, I'm sorry.
But that's part of the case.
That's part of the case.
I want to say one more thing. We already know Aqua's not our friend.
Okay,
We
so
already
people
know.
think they got it.
We've got to be our own friends. And it's up to us to let the residents know what's going on.
So we did talk about that. The village manager, myself, and Attorney Fain wants to we have to watch the language that we put in the newsletter. So going forward, we want to have a piece in the newsletter that residents can read and keep you updated on what's going on. But we have to watch what we say in there, but going forward, we will have information to update everybody. Since it wasn't any conversation in the last week, it's starting to be conversation now. So the three of us are working with Ms. Jenkins to have an update of high-level points that residents can understand.
I'm sorry, because it's getting late and I know people want to go home. One other thing that I want to say that the trustee mentioned was about how the rates are spiking. Despite continued concerns about the quality of the water. And I believe that Ms. Neva will say that we had placed on the website, and she's confirming it now, complaint forms that can be completed. Now, let's talk about that a little bit. For perhaps some of the newer trustees that may not know, the Illinois EPA is the agency that is involved with the case itself. But anything related to rates, fees, sewer, and water is handled by the ICC. So you have a bifurcation of agencies. One of the things that the ICC attorney, that is also an assistant attorney general, suggested is that on one of the village computers that there's a T so that the trustees can see whenever Aqua goes in for permits related to rates and permits around water and sewer. So that, and there's a very short window under the statute, because remember, the ICC statute essentially has created a state supported monopoly. Once these public utilities, it's not just Aqua, once these public utilities are in place, the regulations, the presumption is with them. And so unless you go to the hearings and make complaints, for example, one of the things that occurred was they were unhappy about trying to provide water, and the AG was able to go in and say, no, they're trying to have this conversation, potentially, with you, the ICC, when the court has already ordered something else. They were like, oh, so you have agencies that are siloed that may not always have an opportunity to communicate with each other. But back to what a citizen can do, a resident can do. When you have complaints about the rates, is the process up there? Okay. All right. There is a process by which you can send something in to the ICC. It should be redacted because it is going to be public information. But one of the things that we had talked about potentially doing, this is with Trustee Brooks and the village manager and Trustee Lewis, is bundling these complaints. They have like maybe an event here where people come and fill them out so that you can send them in. Because if they come in one at a time with the many that they get, they go, oh, here's one, but you know, Hazel Crest has one or someone else has one. If they see them come in together, they go, whoa, these are a lot of people. And this is all about Aqua. Then there is more of an opportunity to be seen and heard when complaining about the rates. So that's something I know that the village manager and Trustee Lewis were going to try and get scheduled again. Yes, we've talked about these things. I think that Trustee Brooks will tell you that we have, but we are now in an era where we are responding differently. We've learned from the past and we're responding differently. But that's essential because that, that can be done. People have indicated, they said we weren't going to have any bills. Somebody wrote that down. So it becomes a swearing contest. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes. Good. So then, but here's what I'm saying to you. You have it on tape. That's a blessing. That's something that the Attorney General needs to have as evidence. They don't know, perhaps. They've heard us say it, and people have said when they heard it, but that's not like you going, oh. Now, if there wasn't permission to record that tape, that's another issue, but that's a problem for the Attorney General to sign, but it comes up to sign, to figure out. But it potentially is a good question in a deposition. So this is why everyone has a little bit of a piece of the puzzle, and these folks are counting on the fact that we're so busy being kind of caught up in, oh, this is horrible, that we are paralyzed. And we cannot, we cannot yield, we cannot give up. So anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take up all of your time, but thank you very much.
And I just want to also give a shout out to Pastor Reggie Williams, who always allows us to use.
Yes, and they have been known to let the They have no limit.
And I appreciate that.
Pastor Ebony, for example, she and I had this conversation. I know she's very strong on that, and I said we need to have a practical solution. So we've got to hit these folks everywhere so that they're like, uh-oh, because, you know, they figure if they can confuse us with civilization, they won. So we are, David, trying to deal with Goliath. There's no doubt about it. But I think hopefully we've learned a little bit better how to communicate with each other a little bit. And thank you for the opportunity to work as part of the team. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Attorney Frank.
Thank you.
All right. Anything? Anybody else?
All right, because they're gonna start making a whole lot of noise in a minute. Yeah. Yeah, that's why you see these little things flying around, because the pipes are exposed. Yes, the pipes are exposed, the ceiling is open.
Okay, trustee, item F2B, okay, let me scratch that item, F2B, please. Yes, there you go. No, That's right, yes. Item F2C, first, second, and third reading of ordinance adopting the annual budget for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2023, and ending April 30th, 2024 for the Village of University Park, Will and Cook counties.
Mayor, I'd like to ask for a motion.
Go ahead, trustee.
I motion that we table this agenda item. I got the information too late, did not have a chance to study it in depth. So I motion that we table first, second, third readings for an ordinance adopting the annual budget for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2023, and April 30th, 2024 for the Village of University Park.
There's a motion by trustee Thompson on the floor. Is there a second?
I second it.
Second by trustee Jenny Williams. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Fulcher. Trustee Thompson. Trustee Wood. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Both sides. Item F2D is a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a collective bargaining agreement by and between the Village of University Park and University Park Teamsters Local 700, Police, and Sergeant. Is there a motion? Moved by Lewis. Is there a second? This is item F2D.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir. We need a second first. If we get a second. Is there a second? There is not a motion by Lewis. There is not a discussion. Trustee Brooks.
Mr. Mayor,
Wait, Trustee Brooks, are you second?
no, I'm making a motion.
Wait.
Make a motion, Madam Clerk.
We got a motion.
Like a second.
But we know it doesn't kill. It doesn't
So,
No.
nobody second. Yeah, I want to make a motion to table.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, Trustee Lewis made the motion to ratify the contract. And no one seconded it, so the motion failed, so.
Right.
It does. A motion, you had something to say, Manager Scott?
So just a couple of things I wanted to mention. This contract expired, it coincides with our fiscal budget year, so it expired on the 30th of April. Actually on May 1st of 2022, so they're actually a year behind technically. The contract was voted on. It was ratified July 5th. We worked on this contract for roughly 8 months. I began in November, roughly October, November of 2022. And the contract is redlined here just for ease of review, but some of the things that I wanted to mention that were changed is Juneteenth and New Year's Eve were added. Everyone else had that, they did not have that. It went from 2 days to 3 bereavement days, that's customary. The other thing is the uniform allowance increased to $100. Also, it was 2, 2, and 2 across the board. For the increase, I'd really like to explain that. So years ago, from my understanding in the history of this community, they were asked to take cuts, and they were told that no one was going to get laid off. From what I understand, not only did they do that, but then we had the layoff of the officers. So there was some discord when I came into this position. I think that, and I'm going to say this, police work really, really hard in these streets. And I can't emphasize enough, when I came in, there were things that they needed. They needed new tasers. They needed body-worn cameras, right? There's things like that. So in reviewing these different departments, there are things that they had been lacking. And there was a lot of, they were very disenfranchised with how they were handled years ago. So in doing that, the 4% increase was because of the things that were taken away from them, I need to be clear. And they took a pay cut, I have to say. So this is why it's 4, 3, 7, 5, 3, and 3. So, you know, this will have ramifications if we don't pass it, that's all I have to say. And I don't know if if council would like to, she wanted to say something on it.
Also, just know that when we were negotiating, just because of the different towns that I deal with, you know, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you, a lot of the departments, they're trying, you're not the only one that, as far as just trying to fully staff the departments. And so what some of these departments are doing is that they're becoming creative, and they're offering like these, you know, these signing bonuses, almost like $10,000. And we had discussed this, and you guys aren't in a position to do that. And so, what we're trying to do is make it where, you have officers who've been here for, they've been here for a long haul. And so, we were trying to say, look, we don't want them to stay. We appreciate the fact that they stuck it out, and, they're here. And even though because I'm not, that's above my pay. I don't know these guys, for it. I was always looking to say, look, what is this that you should do? But even doing what we thought would be manageable, I can tell you that it's still not as competitive as some of the other towns. And I'm not saying they're bad, it's not that it's bad, it is definitely it's a step up, but just understand that you are competing with some of these other towns that are offering like these incentives as far as like these, $10,000.
Boys can give them $25,000.
So that's something that, we were just kind of dealing with when we were trying to figure out something that we could all like this.
I think some of the hesitation comes with getting information late. You don't have time to really dig into it. Because we all have another life. So you have to get the information in enough time to be able to dig into it and understand. I think everybody on the board is reasonable, intelligent, they can understand, right, but we need time. We need to get the information early.
And see, customarily,
Customarily,
usually once they get the negotiation done and they vote on it by the members of the team, the board just pretty much ratifies the agreement. Yeah.
I mean, and when I could read of it seemed like it was been, I didn't find there was anything that I wasn't, but I do want
Mr. Mayor.
No, I was reading through the article.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, no,
Oh.
that's not true. That's not true. It just because they ratified the agreement, so you still have, I mean, your board, you have a right to vote it up or down.
Right.
So you're not bound, they voted on it, and you still have a right to.
Have a right to.
You have a right to, yeah, inform, and take your time, so it's, at least you're, the fact that you're saying that you want to read it and make sure you absorb it, that's your right.
Good, great, trustee.
Yeah, well, I'm actually kind of glad Attorney Frazier was going to say exactly what I was going to say, and then actually Trustee Thompson said the same thing. And I was listening to Madam Village Manager. I was here when we voted for the last contract, and I'm with my fellow trustees when it comes to, I want them to see the numbers of what they got. No one in this room can tell you more about police officers' contract, the work, none of that except me and Officer Garcia sitting in the back. And I'm saying literally in this room right now. I didn't get a chance to go through it thoroughly because I was doing other things. But I do want more time. But what I can say is that the board that I last voted for this contract was the board with Mayor Covington, Payton, Wilson, Curtis McMullen, and Williams. We gave them a raise. Not only gave them a raise, but we did give them what they asked for. And the only thing that a statement, I've always given a statement, and actually that's what I was about to do, was tell the officers that tonight, this is not personal. And this is coming from your vet of almost 2 decades. They know me. I have respect for them the same way I give. So tonight, to the union, this has nothing to do with you and what you asked for. The trustees would like to digest some of these things that's being thrown at them. You can't give it to us on a Sunday and think we're going to vote yes by Tuesday. You know, this is not no quick date. This is business. So I just want to say that I knew that last time we gave them a raise, and I want the trustees to know that we did ask last time, look, if you can, keep the cars coming down the street, and I wanted to compliment them because they have been doing it, and I know what it takes if you're shorthanded, and nobody knows, God knows, nobody knows more than me. Working shorthanded in a town of 30,000 people, it's only 4 policemen patrolling the town. But yet you still see a unit come down the street. These guys are doing the same thing. So let us digest it, and this message is to the union president and the reps. I yield my time, Mr. Mayor.
All right. You know, you've been there.
Yeah, I've been there. Yes.
Okay, so there was a motion. Is there a second to table? Oh, she's just making it.
It'll just be back on.
It'll be back, okay. All right. All right, here we go. A motion authorizing and approving a new payroll accounting system. Is there a motion?
May I be recognized?
Yes.
I motion that.
Wait.
I make a motion that we table the motion authorizing approving the payroll accounting system only because we don't know what the system is or how much it will cost.
That's right.
couple things that I wanted to point out. A couple reasons why I think we need to move from ADP. For one, they're really expensive when you're reviewing it. A lot of their systems are a la carte, but they're antiquated. So they charge $5,300 a month. They have a lack of automation and reporting. So it's difficult to work with them. So as it relates to payroll tax, we got three different answers at 3 different times of how processes could be done. That did not make me feel secure with ADP. They kept telling us they could do it this way, and they came back, no, we can do it that way. We've had issues with police and fire, with their paying into their Medicare and things like that. They were actually on the phone with them yesterday and talking to them, I think until almost 9 o'clock last night. There's real issues here. So with Paycom, I need to tell you, it's $3,400 a month. So that's much cheaper. Before that's a lot cheaper. Paycom basically comes with a lot of different functions that ADP doesn't even have, for example. And these are complaints that have registered since I've been here that I've heard. So COBRA, when people leave, they should be offered COBRA. It's not consistent. This automatically kicks out a COBRA letter. So that cuts down on possible litigation. It makes it more efficient, where maybe a human error of forgetting to send out a COBRA form to someone, that has happened. So that's one of the things. Scheduling is on there. That's not current with ADP. Time and attendance. It also comes with time clocks, which was asked of me. That comes with the price. ADP doesn't even have that, and they're already more. Benefits administration, auto longevity. So we won't have the issue as it relates to grievances, time that we have to spend, I'm sorry to put down on legal fees, when we have to deal with grievances, arbitration, because we're consistently being told, hey, the step increases weren't given to us. We have issues because we weren't allowed certain things. So we have auto longevity. All you have to do is program that person's date higher, whatever that situation is, and it automatically kicks in. That really helps us a lot. And like I say, even though the price is different, you have to look at the time that I have to spend. I deal with a lot of grievances. I deal with a lot of arbitration type issues. Then there's personnel issues when it's human error. So this cuts down on that. Paychecks. Paychecks was a little expensive. They have scheduling, they have time clocks, but it's not automated. They don't have the uniform allowance, longevity, there's certain things like that. So by far, Paycom far exceeded the expectations. The things that we needed were included, a la carte, and it still came out cheaper. They said it would take 10 to 12 weeks to implement, to have it up and running by October. So if we push it back, we're looking into possibly next year. Also, it takes care of all of our year-end reporting as it relates to our W-2s. So sometimes W-2s can be incorrect. It automates that, 941s and W-3s, and the quarterly tax reports. This is a no-brainer. So this is a system that will make it easier on the staff. It will cut down on our litigation, our time. So for me, Paycom just blew me out of the water compared to what we have going on now. I don't know if you wanted to add something else. We met with these people.
Well, let me say that. So, I know you got a lot of updating coming into the 21st century type stuff to do, but we just didn't have the information that I just gave. And we didn't have that. So we agree with all the changes you need to make in the system, but it's just that we did not have, we're not going to be a rubber stamp board. We didn't have the information. And we even talked about it, but I didn't see anything on paper. Right. So it's just that.
These things are things that maybe won't be on paper, like, it's things that we found out. So as I sit in meetings, I ask a lot of questions, the things that we needed. I also confer with Lauren, because Lauren, I'm not a tax expert, I'm not an accounting expert, so I rely on her expertise for certain things, and I say, hey, Lauren, this is what
Don't she get paid by the bill?
Miss Morgan, please.
No, I'm.
No, she's not yet out.
So, but I do understand what you're saying.
We have to watch out for the pennies make out.
completely understand, and this by far is much cheaper. It has a lot more added benefit. And what's not plugged in is the cost savings that you don't see as it relates to attorney fees, my time, error, grievances, those kind of things.
Oh, okay, so if, there's a motion and a second on the floor to table this. So do you want to rescind the motion or do you want to continue?
I rescind the motion.
You withdraw your motion?
Why are you withdrawing?
Because she made a mistake about this.
But they should have been here tonight.
Okay, so,
We had private talks about it, but we didn't have it in writing.
so now, is there a motion again? A motion authorizing and approving a new accounting pay system. Moved by Lewis, second by Thompson. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
I'm going home. Trustee.
I need a shot.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee Fulcher.
No, and that was based off of not receiving information, nor have I had opportunity to look into the company myself.
Thank you, Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Woods.
Both sides.
Mayor Rivera.
I concur, Madam Clerk. Vote aye. Thank you. Here we go again. Okay, no, we got,
Y'all doing, I don't know.
F2F, a motion authorizing the purchase of a new salt shed for public works.
One day you come to a meeting.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion to table the authorization of purchase of new salt shed, so we don't have all the purchase.
Okay. All right, is there a second?
A second.
Second by Williams. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Question,
Yes, sir.
this is the table.
Yes, the salt shed.
Didn't I see 2, 3, but I just sleep? There were two. Okay. Okay.
I might have somebody asking. You guys want one more? Four.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to get three? Okay.
Yes.
So there's a roll call, Madam Clerk. There's a motion and a second to table. And for the record, for one more, quote.
This is to table.
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Fulcher.
Both sides.
Trustee Lewis. Motion to table carried.
Okay. Yes, sir. Presented for your consideration and approval, attached for your approval is a listing of general operating expenses for the Village of University Park that occurred on the 28th of June 23 through 25th of July 2023. General Fund, $315,559.88. Road and Bridge, $7,528.44. Town Center Fund, $5,716.01. Capital Project Fund, $4,576 to $5,832.50. And the payroll for $3,409.29 with the grand total of $337,622.38. Is there a motion? Moved by Dilworth, second by Lewis. Trustee Brooks?
Yeah, question, when did Taylor Printing started a newspaper? Because I haven't gotten it. Do I need to go to the invoice so everyone know what I'm talking about?
Yes. It's an electronic newsletter.
I didn't get anything. And it was like $6,000 or $7,000. I mean, are we done with newsmakers now that we done with Taylor? Because if I'm not mistaken, Taylor, when I looked at that invoice, is that the same people that write that newspaper?
Right, Kankakee News.
Yeah, Kankakee News. How did we get into that? There's somebody in there ask. I don't even know, did they even make the paper?
Yeah, did you went to the house?
I mean, outside of saying I'm trustee Brooks, did I even make the newspaper this month? I didn't get one.
I can't say that I did not receive a newsletter in the mail. I haven't seen, I don't know anybody who asked us for the newsletter. But Kirk Jones said she didn't receive it. I did see it online.
It was online?
I seen it online, but we never received it.
Yeah, I saw it on.
And the invoice states that it was printed and delivered.
Right, that's my point, yeah, it's like almost $6,000.
Yes. So it's online, I've seen it online, but the printed, no.
Well, because I'm about, because we didn't pay for it. Taylor Media, here we go. Check number 106479. Yeah, one of them is for $4,800. And I want to say it's the second one. Yeah. Status check 110522 for $1,400. It's right above Bass Lobbying Group, right? Don't worry, Joe, not tonight.
We did that first.
You did?
Trustee Brooks.
Yes, ma'am.
Write down, if you've got a lot of them, can you write down the check you're going?
Yeah, I think it's just two. I'll pull it, and I can send it right to you, Madam Clerk.
Yeah, 106479.
The golf course?
Yes.
I thought we stopped paying
We
it.
did stop paying them for pest control.
We did?
And golf cart.
Or we didn't?
We did stop paying the golf course.
Why we pay for golf cart rentals? Pest control.
That's different, that's a contract.
Oh.
That has nothing to do with CHW management. That's a contract that the village has for those golf carts. That's the thing. Yeah, and the pest control. All the buildings.
So, okay, I'll send Madam Clerk, Mayor, you missed it.
I've got the check number.
Oh, okay, yeah, just those two check numbers. Because I didn't get no paper. I didn't see it. Anybody got a paper?
Nope.
I got one to send you.
Right. They're building the floors. Nobody seen it.
Okay.
No. Miss Shirley. Yeah.
Oh, she said she picked it up.
Oh,
Did you get one of your
I got one in the mail and I picked up.
Bill Charles, she said. Yeah. Okay. I need my time. That's it. But that's it for me.
Okay.
In case I think somebody else has something.
Okay. Madam Clerk?
I was looking and I didn't find any of the credit card statements. Where are the credit card statements for this?
The credit card statements aren't on this. And I don't think they have been before.
Right, I know the last time we had to work in the bills and banks that we need to start seeing them.
I can provide those for you.
Huh?
I'll provide those for you.
So still back there?
No. I provide, somebody asks, I make a point of trying to send it to everyone. Yeah, if somebody makes a request for something, I typically will send it to everyone, so I'll be sure everyone gets that.
And then it was their financial, something $25. Zero financial.
That's with our copiers or whatever, it's what has to do with our, actually not our copiers, it's our laptops.
Okay.
That's a contract that we have.
I just wanted to know what.
Yes.
Okay. So that was my other question. I didn't have any, except we were pulling anything that had CHL in there. So I didn't see anything on there, but I just wanted to make sure it was just the correct person.
Good. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee Fulton. Trustee Thompson. Trustee Williams. Trustee Williams.
I concur.
Trustee Brooks.
I concur, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Brooks.
I vote aye.
Reports of, Madam, Matt, report, three reports.
Oh, yes.
Yes, for the month of July, Public Works has been out cutting and cleaning the village parkways, cleaning up around town center. The guys also went out and replaced 7 street signs. They cleaned up 3 trees that came down during the high winds. They repaired 2 underground faults for street lights. They replaced 2 street light fixtures on Central Avenue, and they replaced 7 fixtures here in the town center parking lot. The mechanic has repaired 2 police cars for service, 3 public works vehicles, and 3 mowers, along with other miscellaneous jobs that came into the shop. Also, we've been keeping up with cleaning the metro lots. They came out to take care of the street lights, parking lot lights.
Thank you.
And also as a reminder, put any of your debris out on Tuesday night for home and pickup. On Wednesday, also anybody trimming trees, you tie them up, Homewood will pick them up on garbage day. They should be picking up yard waste and branches and filling them first. And
Matt, I do have a question. Did you plan on eliminating or cutting down more trees this fall?
yes, as soon as we get one of the other trucks in, we're gonna start cutting out. There are some more that need to come down that I got marked out.
Okay.
I have a
Okay.
question that goes to Matt or to the village manager. I had mentioned about, thinking about our liability and covering up that, putting a target that's on the course. Yep. You don't want that kind of liability.
Mrs. Stacy? What is the plan for some of these properties?
We've been on whole action. The hot box went down. I'm waiting for the vendor to come out. I had to call a couple of different people. One guy's supposed to be coming out next week. He said he's got time. So we've been out with the truck, just going through areas.
Okay.
And what is that in the middle of the street, right there off of Western, what is that?
Ashridge?
Ashridge?
Yes.
The manhole cover is a little bit smaller than what's supposed to be there. I ordered 2 new ones. They're back ordered 3 months. So I kept the horse here because if somebody drives over, it's a little flip up. And I don't want nobody to get hurt, so it's covered up, but I got the barricade there just so it doesn't get ran over.
Thank you. Chief Jellios?
Good evening, everybody. Report from the fire department. This is going to be for the month of June 2023. We got a little more time to go at before we get the final numbers for this month. So for the month of June, the fire EMS, 35 various fire incidents, and we responded to 9 car accidents. So that's 183 for the month. We're just over 1,100 calls for between January 1st and June 30th. So for the annual breakdown for the yearly, we're at 779 EMS calls, 269 fire responses, and 53 car accidents. So fire prevention has been quite busy in the industrial park. We completed 5 initial inspections for business license compliance, and did 6 additional re-inspections on inspections that were done the previous month. Fire inspectors have been over here, mainly, especially in this building, coordinating all of the sprinkler work that's going on to make sure that the job is being done according to plan and within the codes. Continued inspection activity, final certificate of occupancy was issued to, I don't know if you guys know what it is, Ryerson Steel or Chicago Steel and Wire for the new place on Central.
What was done with them, Chief?
Certificate of occupancy is great.
Okay. Wow.
There is one additional project they're working on in terms of electric service to actually run all the cranes and everything in their building, but we're still working with them on that to make sure they stay on track there. And also there were several complaints investigated at the Maple Leaf apartment complex concerning proper operation of lobby doors, elevators, and other safety issues. From the code side, this one's a little bit more in depth. There were 12 initial inspections done on point of sales for single-family homes, along with 14 re-inspections. And there were 3 re-inspections done on single-family homes that are rentals. Multi-family apartment buildings, there were 12 initial inspections performed at Dynasty Apartments and 4 re-inspections done, 4 initial inspections were also completed at Thornwood House. New construction inspections, there were about 20 that were completed. And these are inspections that are done for concrete inspections, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, things of that nature. Building permits, there were 23 inspections done for permits that are currently active. And there were 32 plan review sessions completed. Plan reviews and permits kind of go hand in hand. Most of them were for, not necessarily for new construction, but inspections if someone pulls a permit to put a deck up in their yard or a fence. Those are inspected as well to make sure that they are installing what they got their permit for. So we had 3 formal complaints that were addressed by code enforcement. There was an animal issue reported to us in the 700 block of Blackhawk. Broken window complaint came in from the 500 block of Nathan. And front doors not working properly at one of the buildings in the Burnside townhome area. That's about it. One thing I did want to mention too. I think by now everyone is aware of the extremely dangerous situation to our north in the nation of Canada. They've had an issue with wildfires up there, and we have been dealing with the smoke and the air quality because of that. So as of Friday, when I look at the numbers, there are still over 200 active wildfires burning across Canada, most of which are out of control, and they've already burned over 19 million acres. So in order to protect yourselves, when we have the air quality alerts that we're under right now, you can get air quality information at airnow.gov. If you already have the weather channel app on your phone, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, it'll give you a daily update on what the air quality level is.
Yes.
I've been looking at it all night tonight. I think the last time I looked at it, we were about an AQI of 117. If you can remember back to when we were here for the last board meeting, if you looked up at the moon when we left, it looked kind of orange.
Yeah.
It pumpkin.
It's 270 something.
That evening, the reading I had on my phone was 258. So, right now, they're labeling this as unhealthy conditions for those with sensitive conditions. So 21 with conditions like asthma and everything, it is okay if you have to go outside. Take several breaks and don't be out very long. There's nothing wrong with wearing a mask when you're outside.
So Chief, are there any recommendations or suggestions for any of our residents that may be suffering from asthma or things of that nature?
No, they have to speak with their doctor. I can't give that kind of medical advice because I don't know everyone's personal conditions.
And one other thing, when it's extremely hot in the community, is there an opportunity for the fire department to do well-being checks, or is there a heating or a cooling center? Where would our residents come if they don't have adequate cooling in their house or apartment?
The only place right now the village has that can be available is this spot that we're in right now.
Okay.
With air conditioning and chairs that can be set up. We can try to see if we can establish things like that, possibly with churches in town.
Okay.
Right now, schools are going to be a bad choice because schools are about to be back in session very shortly. So anything heating or cooling center wise, that information is always available on the Will County DMA website.
Okay.
So it's whenever that call goes out and centers are open, they're always posting it stuff on their website.
All right, so I guess what I'm hearing today is that there's a whole lot of things going on, but it's extremely hard to convey it to our residents. So if there's a resident that doesn't have heat or their lights are cut off, who would they contact to come into a cooling center?
You can put that kind of information on our reports.
Or you could just call the village hall.
Okay, I just wanted to know for the record, so anybody that's viewing would have the opportunity to follow the protocol and say that they didn't have an opportunity to go to a cooling center or something like that.
Right, and if there's any also guidelines, it perhaps to some people might not be hot to others. So if it was like a guideline, like if they hit, like you said, we're following Will County, everybody don't get that alert. I know Will County sends out their, Will County, management, whatever, they send out something about the MERS, but how would they know that this is a facility to come, it's open during this time frame, because it is now 95 degrees. So at this point, 95 degrees, this will be open for, as a cooling center. I mean, I just think it's something that needs to put out there.
What about the homelessness too?
I have another question. Chief Chelios, are you all still supplying smoke detectors and carbon dioxide detectors to residents that do not have them free?
Here's how we divide this up. Anyone who lives in an apartment building or a property that they're renting, that request goes directly to that building owner.
Right.
And if they are not getting those devices as they should, that's when code enforcement has to be notified so we can follow up on those, because we can't make them do it. Privately owned homes, right now the only option that we have available is there is grant funding out there for free smoke alarms, but anytime you're talking about grant money, there's always conditions that come with that. And some of the conditions that we've dealt with recently is we cannot just simply give them away. There are forms that have to be filled out. We have to physically go to the person's residence and install them ourselves to make sure that those items with that money went to where we said they were going. So the better option for us, I believe, is to buy our own smoke alarms. Whether we can get them directly from, First Alert or how we can find them. We purchase them with, the people's tax money. They become our property, then we can give them out. We could have them available at every board meeting, other village events, back to school events coming up. So we could definitely look into the options there and see if we can get a decent supply.
I think that would be a good option. The reason I mentioned this is because I was talking to one of the residents, and their elderly family member was overcooking, but that happens, and they didn't have a smoke alarm that went off. They just came home and seen it was smoke. So it's like, oh, wow, you didn't have any? No, sometimes people take it down, it doesn't work. if they was able to come, I know where my parents live, they are able to get the free smoke detectors, and that the fire department will come. You can go pick it up, or they'll actually come and put it in for you. So I think that would be a good option to be offered here in University Park. If that's something, not to say it has to be a multitude, and I understand how grants go, but just as an option. Not for the apartment buildings, because the owner's supposed to supply that. I agree. But for the private homes, I think that
Even if there's anyone in the village that purchase their own smoke products, if they have challenges, installing them, we can definitely help them with that. If they call the fire station and let us know their address and coordinate time to show up, we can help them take the old ones and the new ones off. Make sure the rights are in the right spots they're supposed to be in.
Okay, Manager Scott.
The back to school parade is August 19th, 2023. Lineup starts at 9 a.m. Kickoff is at 10 o'clock. We're leaving from Olmsted, coming over to 90 Town Center for the back to school parade. Also, I want to mention that August 7th, we are having Fresh Food Market. It's going to be a pop-up for Meals on Wheels. That's a Thursday. The time will be, I think, don't quote me, I think 1 to 3. So that's coming in August. The Fresh Market that you all asked for. And it's going to be here at 90 Town Center. We're still working out the kinks and the details, but we'll have more to follow up with. So, and also with the air quality, put on your N95 mask. N95. Check it every day. It goes up and down.
Karen, what day is that?
August 7th for the Fresh Market. August 19th.
That's a Monday. That's a Monday.
August 7th?
Yeah. Not a Thursday, it's a Monday.
Hold on. Let me check the day.
Now, I see the chief is down here, Chief Mitchell, and they have that national night, August 1st. I'm not sure of the time, but it's at the police station, so.
I'm sorry, September 7th. I'm sorry, September 7th. All right. September 7th. We moved the date. September 7th.
Good evening. I actually have a report tonight. This is a communications report for the month of July. I wanted to inform everyone that WUPC-TV cable station is down due to equipment failure. The station is down due to the electronic system equipment failure, which is the system that puts out the programming. This piece of equipment has no power and is at least 12 years old. Repairs for the electronic system, I contacted them for diagnostics. It would have cost $500 plus shipping to get a diagnostic. The electronic system, the company made changes to their customer market, and so the new customer market does not include station broadcasting. They handle different companies like oil and medical. They don't handle broadcasting anymore. So that went on to then we would have to contact someone else and not really spend $500 on a 12-year-old piece of equipment. So Tightrope Media Services Systems were contacted, and they recommended Cablecast as a viable means to get the station back up and running. Cablecast made a presentation to the village manager, as well as myself, to see the functions of Cablecast. Cablecast is a system similar to electronics, but the programming will allow for live streaming, on-demand features, as well as easy scheduling, content, and news. This system can be accessed remotely as well. Cablecast has connected us with a local distributor in Illinois, which is ADI. And ADI is one of the largest audio, visual, and service providers globally. The cable station also, if you have not heard, had some environmental issues since July of 2021 due to the malfunctions of the air conditioning system. The village will be making plans to look at relocating the station, and in order to do that, some technology transmission will need to be relocated to another location. This situation is being reviewed by the IT director so that we would work within a reasonable location to move this equipment. So I say all that to say that since the cable studio does not have any air conditioning, and since the equipment is down, we can't put the cart before the horse, so the new equipment will need to be in an environment that has air conditioning. So the team at ADI are working to reconnect us digitally until we can find a permanent move to move the technology equipment to a new location. We will know more in the upcoming weeks about the price and how soon we can return on air. But in the meantime, programming can be viewed on our YouTube channel and can be always found on our website on demand. And then I had two other things for the newsletter and mail trips. If you have time, but that was the most important. This first thing is the most important. So,
thank you, Ms.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Ms. Scott, how much they're getting the pricing ready? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Because at this point, this is how I feel. Especially since the very first thing I told John Townsend when I got sworn in, we need to put on there, Channel 4 is coming back. But here's my point. I don't care, let's not wait. You know, if it's something that needs to be spent for this cable, communication needs to get out. And so, I'm just saying to the board, in my opinion, that has been a task since day one, that cable studio. So, if it's something that really is within the village manager's reach, and you just like, if it's 10,000, just let the board know, so we can just get it fixed and get this stuff going. Because people are sick and some people don't have YouTube. You know, I had seen it said, I don't know about YouTube, how can I get on YouTube? But they know about hitting Channel 4. So if we can do that, no matter, in my opinion, the expense should not be, you know what I'm saying, it's worth it for the residents.
Absolutely. We also communicate information through an email blast service, a free email blast service called MailChimp. And the village engages with that, with flyers, digital email blast, and all the events that are coming up, like Back to School, Old Town Car Show, Village Sticker Sweeps, the Community Garden, National ID Program, Chat with the Chief, and National Night Out. That email blast went out last Friday, as well as a company video that goes with it. To get into that subscription service, if you log on to our website at www.university-park-il.com, it will prompt you to subscribe, and when you subscribe, then you will receive the email blast as well. So far, we only have approximately 200 subscribers.
See, and this is a town of how many people? 7. See what I'm saying? 7,500 people, and only 200. Yes. And I know everybody got an email address, but the cats got email address at this point.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I have a few reports that I need to read. One is from Chief Mitchell. He was not able to make it because he is attending an educational seminar in Noble, so he'll be back. But I'd like to read his report. And these reports I will provide to Madam Clerk, and I will also email it to all board members. So training ongoing, Axon, BWCs, which is the body worn camera program. We continue to certify officers through offline training, as well as Practical training conducted by a certified taser energy weapons instructor. Multiple officers saw armor, bulletproof vests needed to be updated due to expiration. Grants, ongoing body-worn camera grant from Kieran to ensure we are in accordance with Illinois General Assembly 50 ILS 706 Law Enforcement Officer Worn Body Camera Act, which is coming up soon. We continue to apply for grants to secure funding from additional sources currently and in the future for innovative research and critical initiatives for the police department. Ongoing. Conducting through background checks consisting of criminal, employment, and motor vehicle histories, resources or fact finders, court history, and other police agencies. Chat with the chief, the importance of dispatchers, staying calm while speaking, state your emergency, precise location, condition of the victim, give clear answers, follow directions, option to remain anonymous, reaming on the phone with the 911 dispatcher until they've told you it's safe to hang up, increase visibility to police officers, and vehicle stickers beginning 8/1/2023 targeted enforcement program. National Night Out, NNO, that's ongoing. Resources that may be in attendance. The goal for the NNO is to place offenders on notice that the community is involved in assisting with crime prevention and reduction. They're going to have games, raffles, and ice cream for nostalgia. We're please asking the residents to come out and support because this is something that wasn't done in the past.
What day?
Where's that?
August the 1st. August 1st, and there's flyers that are available, but this is going to be
From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And there's a flyer, but there's all kinds of information. If you stop into Village Hall, we'll be happy to give you any details. Calls for service, 4th of July call volume reduced in 24-hour period, 19 calls. Fireworks, July total of 41 calls since 6/27/2023 to 7/23/2023. The July total calls was 585 and shots fired for July is 7. So that's that. Also, there's some information on DACRA. The MOS citation software program will become obsolete in December of 2023. So becoming DACRA Tech, one system, it will be web-based. No fee for migration or training. Financially, the same fee. Integrating our ticket system to user-friendly version for online payments. Now I'd like to read into record Keely Choke's report. We hosted a job fair June 14th with Will County Workforce. We had 22 agencies and 14 residents who attended. 14 residents. We received a charitable donation from Dot Foods in January of 2023. This is $5,000 donated, paid for mulch, a 2-rider spring seesaw, a synchro spinner, and a park bench. This was the 4th phase of Palmer Park Playground. Weekly setup, in room 34, that's because this sprinkler system was being done at the time. For Lahi and our Catholic Charities in Joliet for Will County residents to receive assistance with water and our medication reimbursement. Both agencies will restart full assistance in October with gas, lights, and rental. Public Works Director Matthew Stacy, Trustee Donna Fulcher, David Sevier met with Crete Money Athletic Department staff to discuss the opportunity for Crete Money Middle School to use Palmer Park for baseball, softball, and other outdoor activities. They will start on July 24th, 2023. We had a site visit on Friday, July 7th from Kathy Pecora, Program Manager, Will County Land Use Development, Community Development Division. We Will Grow Community Garden Program Coordinator. She was very impressed with the community garden. She stated it looks amazing. She created flyers for Chat with the Chief for May, June, July, and August after they had the meet and greet at Maple Apartments. By popular demand, the senior citizens have requested another casino trip. This trip will be held in September. In January, she started sending the MOS Committee a list of food, merchandise, and services to families that could be potential vendors for the back-to-school event. Went to the Will County Health Department and picked up temporary food applications for the committee. She was requested to assist with vendors for Mayor's Office's special events with the back-to-school celebration. Also attended the meeting and created several flyers to send to businesses that sell food, merchandise, and provide services to families. Also organized school supplies that were received in 2022 from In His Hands Resource Center and packed 264 book bags for the event. The vendors were called and the forms were emailed and mailed out. The deadline for all forms is August 14th, 2023.
She's also involved with the Fresh Market and working with Will County and myself for the Meals on Wheels. So she's a part of that as well.
I'd also like to read into record Frank Bass, the lobbyist. Greetings. I hope this report finds you well. I'm writing to provide an update on the recent developments and tasks in our ongoing efforts to address critical matters affecting the community. One of the key areas of concern has been the issue of the governor signing House Bill 1105 into law. House Bill 1105 poses significant challenges for our municipality when dealing with private vendors supplying services to the city. This legislation makes it more difficult for us to part ways with a service provider, resulting in increased costs for ending such arrangements. We, along with the Citizens Utility Board, which stands for, the abbreviation is CUB, actively opposes this bill. Unfortunately, despite our efforts, the governor signed it into law. However, we continue to monitor the situation closely as there are other aspects of the bill that has raised some concerns from the governor's office. In line with our commitment to environmental responsibility, I've established consistent communication with the Sierra Club. Together, we are exploring ways to ensure compliance with Aqua, the water supplier, while also guaranteeing that University Park residents who require bottled water continue to receive it. On another front, he's been proactive in seeking grants from various sources to benefit our community. Recently, I applied for grants for the Illinois Department of Transportation, acronym IDOT, to enhance safety on our village streets, the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, IEPA, for residential sharps collection, and the Illinois State Police, which is ISP, to support harm reduction efforts. Additionally, he holds monthly meetings with several state agencies to identify and secure grants that can provide much-needed assistance to municipalities like ours. Looking ahead, starting August 1st, 2023, I will focus on advocating for legislation that introduces a waiver for municipalities unable to afford the matching funds required for certain state grants. This initiative aims to ensure that financial constraints do not hinder our community from accessing essential resources. This is an initiative from several Black mayors throughout the state. Hopefully, University Park will get on board to support this effort. Thank you for your ongoing support and dedication to the progress of the Village of University Park. As always, I remain committed to serving our community's best interests and pursuing avenues for growth and prosperity. If you have any questions or require further information, please do not hesitate to reach out. I did send an email to the board that Frank Bass wanted me to pass along the information, and he was interested in meeting with the trustees individually to not be in violation of the Open Meetings Act. I'd also like to say that Frank does send me just different things here and there, possible grants and things, but when I look at them, a lot of them, like I've explained, we can't apply them because they're federal and we don't have our infrastructure. So a couple of things I wanted to mention. I did put in my report that I was with NEVA to try to explore different ways of coming up and updating the system, because I started getting stopped by residents, and the first time I found out was when I went to the golf course that the system was down. So we are getting on that. I had a meeting with Blue Bridge Construction, who was awarded the project that the trustees confirmed. Pine Lake, because of the supply chain, which is something that happened here with the sprinklers as well, it's just something that's happening. They're pushing back the start date for the Pine Lake construction of the pier to October. So with that being said, we were hoping it was going to start soon, but because of the supply chain, they don't have some of the stuff that they need to get started. Unfortunately, we are going to open it back up, so anyone who's listening, spread the word. We are doing rentals. We are going to put the porta potties back. The reason why we removed them was to deter people. We were not renting because of construction and safety issues, as it was recommended by the Blue Ridge. However, we are going to open it back up. Also, we had a bid opening today with Madam Clerk present. We had one of the vendors present to witness the bid opening. Randall from Antero was present. And so we did get some bids. I won't go into detail about that, but it was for Veterans Memorial Garden and also the repairs of the deck for the golf course. I believe we received 3 for each. So it was a pretty healthy turnout. I had a meeting with staff in creating processes for accounting and how payroll should go. For purchase orders. So one of the things that I introduced is timesheets. So people would turn in timesheets, the old timesheets, where it would just say between this pay period and this pay period, I was off 2 days. But I need to know which days those are. So for the sake of effectiveness, and because I didn't feel comfortable signing off on timesheets when I couldn't see the days and I wasn't able to reconcile it against my calendar, I created a more transparent timesheet that actually has each day, what time was taken and whatnot. Also, purchase orders. Typically, purchase orders are put in through department heads. You enter in the GL code, it goes into the system. I have an issue with that, so we're changing that. So I have to sign off on it prior to it going through. This also helps us with reconciling for things as it relates to the budget. So now we can get a clear scope of those things moving forward. So, part of that is the buy-in from the employees, because anytime people have been doing things a certain way for a long time, you have to teach them the process, and you have to understand that there's going to be some errors because it's things that have not been done before. Meeting with Robinson Engineering on the weekend. To go over the sub-recipient agreement. Robinson Engineering is not our engineering firm. We have Antero, however. Robinson Engineering specializes in lead pipe replacement, water meter readers, and things of that nature. So in meeting with Robinson this weekend, I explained to them that we need to have a scope of work, a contract that the trustees can review. It's going to match the scope of work in the grant. It has to. So we went over that, and it also includes going over the back-end reporting and project management for putting together the scope of work, and specifically, of course, for the lead pipe grants. So we have to just make sure that that's matching the engineering aspect of the grant. So we had several meetings with payroll vendors, including Lauren, for the payroll system and reviewing that and asking questions. That occurred over the past several weeks. The pond on Western have gotten a lot of complaints. We had to pay the vendor first. They did come out. It is up and running. There was some issue with the algae, and I guess as it was breaking up, it was getting caught in the aerator. So they came out today, I believe tomorrow rather, and so we'll get back some feedback on what was going on with that. I'm continuing to review grants. There's one that I'm probably going to apply for through ComEd. That has to do with empowering the holidays. Also, I'm doing internal reconciliation of accounts and also contracts. So as things come across my desk, toll passes, cell phones, other accounts that we hold, I'm doing reconciliation and reviewing those. I'm also gathering the cases because things that people don't understand for these audits, I have to give a summary of all the cases. So, I have to review the cases, provide updates, and provide them in writing to the auditors. In doing that, when we change law firms, I also have to send that information to them. So there's like the process in that. So I'm going to be meeting with council to get updates so that then I can regurgitate that properly for the audits. The sprinklers down at 90 Town Center. They just completed that. And the reason why there's supplies in here is because they're continuing that way. So they're currently working in the daycare, and then they're going to continue on to Smile America. So, but this is now completed. So we are taking applications again for that. But that's why this is the way it is. They're kind of finishing up, closing that up. But this work has been completed. Unit 100 has voluntarily vacated the building. We did a walkthrough with the fire department. I also did a separate walkthrough with Chief Mitchell, and Matt has changed the locks. Thank you, Matt. We're going to explore options for that unit. There is someone who's interested, and it's someone who is currently renting here. They've never paid late. Somebody who, I think could bring value. He has a proposed idea, so I'm going to meet with him and discuss further and bring that back to the board. What else? Had a meeting with Attorney Fang on July 18th. We talked about strategies in dealing with the transference of a lot of documents. We're trying to figure out a way to do that. It involves LexisNexis. We're probably going to have to do it on a weekend because it's such a volume of information that we're concerned about the system crashing. So we have to come up with a strategy for that. Also, MIVA was included in the meeting with Attorney Fang because we need to now figure out what that information is going to look like to the residents on the website, and it's going to be ever-changing. We know that there is a period coming up where there's going to be testimony, including testimony from the mayor, other people, possibly people on this board, residents. We're going to be inundated with FOIAs as it relates to Opera as this case progresses. So this is a very integral part of the testimony of the case with the AG. I can't stress that enough. So we're going to start strategizing, and that's probably going to have to be done on Saturdays. Let me figure this out now. Yeah, so those are most of the things, project, yeah. Also, reaching out to a couple of people, just trying to assist. I haven't attended the meeting for Mo's. I've been really busy, but I understand the significance of doing these events for the community and for the kids. So I've been reaching out to some people, and we have some promises from some individuals who are going to be donating to offset the cost of these events. And that's all I have. Thank you.
I just said thank you, Father. No, okay. You got anything? Oh. No? Okay.
In the interest of the late hour.
Okay, I'll just.
I'm still not sure what David does.
All right, my closing comment is that it's very hot weather, and we all know someone that might not have air conditioning and might have some difficult situations. So please just be conscientious and check on the neighbor if you haven't seen or heard from them. And that's all I want to say to you guys. And we look forward to everyone having a very safe summer. Be conscientious of your surrounding. Crime is rampant, running wild all over the state of Illinois, all over the world. So let's watch out for one another. If you see something, say something. And is there a motion, Trustee? Moved by Brooks, second. All in favor?